Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, this is a return to the matter of Roxanne Lewis versus Anthony Zambrano. This is a property at West Chicago Road in White Pigeon, and it is filed as a termination of tenancy action. The matter was set for the 13th, continued until today. Mr. Zambrano has filed a jury demand, but he hasn't paid the fee, and I have not granted his fee waiver request. So we're not there.
I do still want to do that, Your Honor. I just wasn't able with my work schedule. We've been coming all the way down to like Portage, Gary, Indiana area for our job. And I told my boss several times we just weren't able to get back in time for me to make it up to the courthouse to file the rest of, or to pay that fee.
Your Honor, what constitutes the stipulations for a jury trial?
Well, anybody could request a jury trial. In fact, the new court rules that take effect on November 6th seem to encourage it. We have not had a landlord-tenant jury trial in St. Joe County in 50 years. Mr. Zambrano doesn't want a jury trial. He wants to delay the proceedings. Mr. Zambrano, you're representing yourself. You don't know the rules of evidence.
I would like to actually bring it forth to the jury to let them hear my side and her side so they could, do their jury duty on what they think is, if I'm saying it, what I'm saying with my evidence and everything that I have went through with the landlords at that property is true. And I believe that it is. I believe that I've been neglected. And I believe that out of the neglect, when I finally started saying something to them for the repairs, they started wanting me to move. And I was behind, throughout the 4 years of tenancy that I've been there. I fell behind several times, and they worked with me, and they told me, as long as the money shows up, we don't care, is were their exact words.
That was not our
now,
records.
Stop. Now they're using the legal process. So what is that defense called?
Are you asking me?
Yes, you don't understand the law. You've not read the Landlord-Tenant Relationship Act. You don't understand what a retaliatory eviction is. You don't know the rules of evidence. You don't know the rules of procedure. You don't know how to present evidence. You don't know what the law requires. You just want to show up and tell your side of the story. Well, you can do that in a bench trial before the judge, where you don't have to go make an opening statement, pick jurors. You really are way in over your head. Plus, you didn't file a jury demand with your first pleading, and you haven't paid the fee. So you're not entitled to a jury trial. You are entitled to a trial, which will be in front of me.
But I still want to do the jury, Your Honor.
But you didn't do it right. So you don't just get to show up and say, hey, I want a jury. You're going to inconvenience 30 of your fellow citizens to have them take the day off work to come in here and hear you try to bumble through a jury trial. So you didn't follow the procedure to request a jury trial, and you're to file it at your first proceeding, which you have not done. So
well, I did actually do that the other day, but you waived the fee, and I wasn't able to make the payment right then. And like I was telling you, Your Honor, I haven't been able to get off work to get up there in time enough to pay the fee that you requested, but I did pay for the paperwork. I was told that I was given 14 days to do that, and I kind of just went by that a little bit, and I told my boss that that they gave me 14 days, so he wasn't too amped to rush us along, that I could get back in time. I'm not just trying to prolong it out. I truly believe that what
All right,
my
so what
deed-
do you think? That they need to just, you get to stay there as a tenant, even though they don't want to have you as a tenant? You just get to stay regardless of whether they wish
feel
to
that I
have you
want
there or
to make
not?
a counter. I'm making a counterclaim against what they're saying. I've feel that it wasn't fair that they're, booting me out and I don't have anywhere to go. I've tried to find places. Like I was telling you, I have 3 convictions in my past that have prevent me from getting into a lot of places. And I'm kind of just like struggling to find one right now. I have several applications. I'm going even today, if I have time after work, to get a place I found in Union, Michigan. I've got to talk to the woman. I've came across several scams online trying to find places where they're like trying
Yes,
to
there's
get me
that. Well, let's talk about this. You have a lease that was with her predecessor, Mr. Miller and Mr. Chuck. And it was a year lease from November 1st of 2019 to November 1st of 2020. After that, it became a month-to-month lease. So it was month to month. So they can ask you to move. You're no longer within your lease period. She filed a notice to quit on July 6th, saying, please move within 30 days by August 5th, which is her right in a month-to-month tenancy. And so you haven't
when she
moved.
filed that.
And
I did pay 1 month after that. Sorry to interrupt you, Your Honor, but I did pay 1 month after that. The months that I actually quit paying because I know I looked into some things since and I didn't do it right. I'm very sorry for that. I should have came up and talked to the courts and tried to put all of the thing.
all
I
right,
felt that it was
so
wrong. They were trying to charge me for something like this garage that they have out there that
all right,
they
well,
neglected
let me
repairs
stop
on
you.
for over a year.
So once she files a termination of tenancy action, they can't accept rent. So you've been there in July, August, September, October, about to be November, without paying any rent. And trying to collect the rent from you after they remove you is going to be very difficult because you don't have any money. So right now you get to stay there for free,
Well,
which is
actually,
a
Your
good
Honor,
deal.
I
Stop.
offered them.
Stop interrupting me, Mr. Zambrano. You are not prepared to try a jury trial. You don't know how to conduct yourself in a court hearing. I'm trying to explain the landlord-tenant law to you. They are asking you to move, which is their right on a month-to-month tenancy. They gave you 30 days notice in July. You're still there. You haven't paid any rent since probably June, and you're complaining about how unfairly you're being treated.
I offered them the money. They
Will
refused
you
the money. I had
stop? Will you
2,100 cash.
stop?
I still have money.
Stop.
Broke.
They can't accept money once they file a termination of tenancy action. They don't want your money. They want you to move. And they've followed all the steps to do that. They served a notice to quit. You didn't move. Then they filed this complaint in August to terminate your tenancy. And you haven't moved. They don't want your money. They can't even accept your money. Now, I guess they could. If you came in with $10,000 and said, I want to pay all my rent, they could choose to accept it. But once you file a termination of tenancy action, they're not supposed to take your money. They're asking you to move. She got you as a tenant from the previous landlords. They don't wish to have you as a tenant. Now they can say, I want them to move because we want to refurbish the apartment. I want my kids to move in there. My sister's coming back from California. She needs a place to stay. You don't, your lease is up. You have a month-to-month lease. And so they're not asking you for any money. They're not suing you for money. you haven't filed a counterclaim to ask them for money. And so
I was
that's the
the
circumstance.
legal aid lady. She did advise me that I needed to do the counterclaim, and I am kind of just like stumped to all of the lingo that she told me really quick while I'm sitting here at work trying to rush around and stuff. And I came up and I wanted to talk to her again about filing the counterclaim, but the courts are closed before I can get up there.
Okay. Well, she has dotted her i's and crossed her t's. You haven't filed anything. I do not accept your jury demand because you haven't paid the fee. I didn't do a fee waiver. You're employed and you're living in their house for free and have been for a number of months. I find by hearing that you have 10 days to move by October 30th, 2023, or you're subject to being evicted. You can appeal it by October 30th. No money judgment is entered at this time. You have a month-to-month tenancy. They served a notice to quit on you in July. It's now almost November. You can appeal this if you like.
How do I do that?
You file a written appeal with the court within 10 days. All right, you're free to go. Miss Lewis, I don't
Yes.
think this will end well, but if he doesn't move, you know the procedure to get a writ.
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
you're
thank
free
you.
to go.